Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something we all feel every single day: weather and climate. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll see the world outside your window in a brand new way.
You know how it is in Kenya, right? One morning you leave the house wearing a sweater because it's so chilly, but by lunchtime, phew, you're looking for the shadiest tree you can find to cool down. So what's going on? Why does it change so much? Let's find out.
So first, let's talk about our daily atmosphere. To understand that chilly morning and that super hot afternoon, we've got to look at what's happening in the air all around us right now.
This daily change, this up and down, is what we call weather. It's really that simple. Weather is just whatever is happening in the atmosphere on any given day. You know, when you peek outside your window and you see sunshine or maybe some clouds or even rain, yep, that's the weather.
So when we describe the weather, what are we really talking about? Well, we look at four main things. First is temperature, which just tells us if it's hot or cold. Then there's rainfall, pretty easy, that's how much rain is coming down. We also have wind, which is how the air is moving. And finally, humidity. That's the amount of water in the air. It's what makes some days feel so, sticky.
Okay, so that's weather. It's what's happening today, right now. But what happens if we sort of zoom out and look at the bigger picture? What does the pattern look like over a very, very long time? And that bigger picture, that's what we call climate. See, climate is not about one single day. No, it's the average weather that a place usually gets over many, many years. We're talking 30 years or even more. It's all about that long-term pattern.
Here's a really great way to think about it. Weather is like your mood. It can change really fast, right? You can be happy one minute and then sad a few hours later. But climate is like your personality. It's who you are most of the time, over a long, long period. So weather is what you get today, but climate is what you expect to get.
All right, let's bring this idea home, right here to our beautiful country. Because here in Kenya, we don't just have one climate. Oh no, we have lots of different ones. Think about it. If you go to the coast, somewhere like Mombasa, the climate is warm and humid pretty much the whole year. But if you go to the Highlands, maybe near Limuru, the climate is much, much cooler. And then if you go way up north to a place like Turkana, the climate is very, very hot and very dry. See? These are Kenya's different personalities. So why do we even care about this? Why does it matter? Well, it affects almost everything. Climate decides what our farmers can grow. Tea loves the cool, wet climate of the Highlands, but it would never grow in the dry heat of the north. It affects how we travel, especially when heavy rains can make the roads impossible to pass. And yeah, it even decides what clothes are in our closets. Understanding climate helps us plan our lives. Okay, woof, that was a lot of information. So let's slow down for a second and do a quick recap of the most important ideas we talked about today. All right, here's a quick check for you. Can you remember the main number one difference between those two big words, weather and climate? Just take a second to think about it. If you remember just one thing from our chat today, let it be this. Weather is for today. It's short term. But climate is for many, many years. It's long term. Simple as that. So there you have it, weather and climate. But that leaves us with a really big question, doesn't it? Why is the coast so warm and why are the highlands so cool? What things actually control our weather and our climate? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore in our next explainer. See you then.